Hi, it's Lauren Smith with Achieva's Early Intervention. Welcome to Ask Lauren. Today's question comes from a family describing their snack time as being horrific. The child just screams for more, and when it's time to be all done, the child just continues to scream until they get so frustrated they just give the child more of the snack just to get them to stop screaming. They're wondering what they can do. So I have a couple of thoughts. Does your child know how to ask for more? Is more a part of their vocabulary? And if not, that's something that we really need to work on, is teaching them how to appropriately ask for more of something. So you would do this by modeling the language, and then also to other people that are in your house, you can model this as well. So your child is seeing how to appropriately ask for something. Another thing that you can try too is teaching your child the gesture, the sign for more. That's the sign for more. So again, you would be doing this in conjunction with using that verbal language, because we'd like to transition them from maybe signing to using that verbal language. So that would look like you asking them if they wanted more, showing them the sign, pausing and waiting to see if the child is able to indicate that on their own. And if not, you can take their hands and help them do it and then give them more of the snack. Now, when it's time to be all done with the snack, a couple of thoughts for that. I think it's important ahead of time to kind of set the tone. So I would give a numerical limit to it. So, if you're giving them cookies, letting them know ahead of time, okay, we can have 3 cookies and then we're all done. Or then we're going to do this. And that way you're setting this expectation, and then the follow through is the most important part, because think about it. If every time you screamed, somebody gave you a snack, what would you do? You would scream. So it turns into a learned behavior for kids. So even if you said no, that the child knows if they continue to scream that they eventually will get what they want. So that follow through, if you're telling them they're all done, the snack goes away and it's all done. And then using plain ignoring. Behavior is not going to change overnight. It's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of consistency from you. So that the child learns, this is what my mom or my dad said, and you followed through with it. So they know what to expect. Because if sometimes they're getting more snack if they scream, and then other times you're just, saying it's done and it's done, it's sending mixed messages to the kids. So they're not going to know what's expected of them to be able to get what they want. So definitely a big thing to think about. Another thing to think about too is your child just really hungry? Is it been a couple hours since you've eaten a meal? Maybe they're just really hungry and they're just really upset that it's time to be done, especially if it's something that they really like. Of course, they're going to want more of that. So maybe looking at how you structure your meal and snack times and maybe needing to move them a little closer together. You can also consider using that more like junkier, snackier food after a meal. So, the expectation is that they eat a healthy meal, and then that's kind of a reward. And then, other snack times, you're using that as an opportunity to give them, some fruits and vegetables and things like that are healthier for them. So maybe just the positioning of those type of snacks maybe can be, placed different, in a different spot during the day. Something else to think about too is offering your child choices of what they can have. So if it's time to be all done with the cookies, but they're able to have some oranges or a drink, maybe offering them a choice of 2, that just gives them a little bit of control in a situation that they can't control, and that might be helpful. If it's time just to be done eating in general, you can just offer them a choice of 2 things to do. And I will say, a lot of times when kids are upset, they may not want to choose something else because they're so focused on the cookies or whatever they wanted. So sometimes what I suggest too is offering the child a choice of 2 things that they can have, and then leave those 2 choices out. Leave them within their visual field if it's something that you would prefer them not, getting down themselves. And if it is something that they can go and get themselves, just set the 2 things on the couch, and eventually when they're able to calm down, they may go over and make a choice of something that they want to do. Also, changing locations in the house a lot of times works. Just move rooms and start interacting with something. And, a lot of times your child will just come over and start playing, and then you're really able to give them that positive attention. So I think that's a really important part. Are you giving your child a lot of times during the day where they're getting positive attention versus them seeking attention and getting it in a more negative way, because they have an attention bucket that really needs to be filled up throughout the day. So, if they're not getting the positive attention, they're going to be trying to get the attention in a negative way. So just training them how they can get that positive attention from you. So I hope these suggestions helped you. Please drop your questions and comments below. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks.